So, how does a French Canadian from Rouyn-Noranda, Quebec end up with a trainer from Siloso, Oklahoma?
Well, my brother was acting as an agent for Roger. Roger was going around, he was trying to buy some horses, and he come in contact with my brother. My brother started buying horses for him, and then he needed a trainer, and so I guess somehow or another my name got thrown in the hat, and then I come up and met with Roger, and that's where we started from there.
Oh, I started with, I was racing a little bit in the States, and I came in here a little bit, and I knew that if I wanted to be here, I had to get something to get a half decent. So I met Clint and asked him if he was interested to come to work in Canada for me with a working permit and all that. And Clint came in. We put about 8, 9 people together, and there we are.
The total earnings, you're closing on a $500,000 mark. That's phenomenal for this time of year.
Yeah, it's very, very good. We're having an excellent year. We have a good year last year, an excellent last year. This year is we had a little slope there in the stake, but because we built a lot of money in the 2 years old. And 2 years old just got hurt, and the 3 years old is always the name of the game. Sometimes when it comes through, you're a winner, and when it just got hurt, you just. So no, this year I guess we have an excellent year. So like I said, everything is due to my group. Me, I just I'm the owner and the guy. I'm not the one who's doing the most work. Those people are doing it.
Me and Roger, we're like best friends. I mean, he tells me things, I tell him things, and it's got our friendship's got stronger and stronger as the years have gone by.
The first year we're a second owner. We just try to put everything together. It takes time and money to put things together, and it also takes a lot of patience and love for the horses. Because if you don't love horses, you cannot be in that game.
What do you look for in a horse, first of all?
I look for size. I look for it's just a look that I find in a horse. Plus, I also go off that past performance just like anybody else would. And like my babies, when I go to the sale, a lot of times, I watch them and I see what they look like. I check them on the pedigrees, and we just go from there. It's just a certain look that I have for a horse and on my 2-year-olds, and so far it's been pretty successful.
Are you breeding horses as well?
I started to breed horses, but I don't think it's some things I really want to get involved to. I think the Ontario Incentive Program is excellent. I just think the people who are studying are younger than me and they got the time. But racing 40, 50 horses and breeding 10, 12 horses is too much for me, and it's too much in the winter time because it takes all your time, And I'm 56 years old, so I'm more looking at enjoying myself and not better to go on and maybe buy a few baby to, $15, $16, $20,000. I buy 6, 7 every year. And this year I'll be looking, it's supposed to have a sale, and I really hope the sale in Ontario will work. I hope everybody's going to get together with the Ontario Racing Commission and with the QROE, Bob Rostock and his group, and I hope that we're going to get a sale. I really hope we do because right now that's a disadvantage because there's not that much Ontario bred horse up there to enter the Ontario bred horse racing. Oh, I just think they really I think the Ontario Racing really try hard to get the people to go into the quarter horse, and they really try people to help them because they don't cost a pile of money. They put some good incentive. They'll give you a $4,000 to grant for some people who just qualify in the trial, some $6,000 a certificate. They're trying really hard for people to understand that to go breed quality horses.
What advice do you have for somebody who wants to be a trainer?
Well, you have to be dedicated and have the passion for the game, and I've been in it my whole life. I loved it, obviously. So, if you don't have that, you don't need to start it. But that's what I would think.
I think, quarter horses are wonderful. You fall in love with them, and that's why you're going to be very careful as an owner. You just don't spend too much time in the barn because you fall in love with them. That's the problem.
Coming up, he's trained some of the best in the business, and he's got a hot one now.
Hi, I'm Dave Duvall with your track tip. What are the different types of wagers? Now, you can bet on a horse to win, place, or show. That is, finish first, second, or third. If you bet a horse to place, you win money if the horse finishes first or second. If you bet a horse to show, you win money if the horse finishes first, second, or third. When you make a place or show wager, you have a greater chance of winning, but the payouts are usually less. Placing exotic wagers are more complex and involve multiple bets on multiple horses. These bets usually have higher returns. Betting the daily double means picking the winner of the first and second races. Other wagers with this theme, like the Pick 4 or Pick 6, involve picking the winner of a number of consecutive races.
For over 30 years now, Don Reed has been making an impact in quarter horse racing. He wins the trainer's title every other year. With more on this trainer, here's Maddie.
Don Reed has been training quarter horses for 30 years. As you might expect, he's had his ups and downs over that time, but this year is definitely one of the good ones.
This year is a lot better than last year. Last year we went through an owner change and we kind of dropped off. So it took a year or two to build your stock back up, but it's coming. It's starting to come now.
What made you decide to get into the business?
Oh, my sister bought a horse, and I just started playing around with it. And next thing you know, I bought a racehorse. We bought a racehorse, a family racehorse. We ran it in one stake race that year, and lucky enough, we won the stake race. And I think that's where I got hooked.
He's a great trainer because training is his life, and he's 100% committed to it all the time. And morning and night, and 365 days a year, it's all about training, and it's all about his horses, and that's why they do well for him, because he's always thinking about them, keeping them happy, keeping them healthy, keeping them sound.
Key to my success, a lot of good owners. Really lucky to have a lot of good owners and a lot of good people working for me. My people at the barn, they do a great job. They put a lot of hours in.
Don is successful at what he's doing because he pays a lot of attention one-on-one with the horses. Him and Kim do all the work by themselves. They know the horses, they get to know them, the horses connect with them. When they get to the track, the horse is not introduced to strangers. They're with who they know. And it's just all the close attention. Every time there's something wrong with the horses, it is addressed right away. We are here for that. If we notice something, Kim and Don address it right away. The horses are treated like people here, not like just a horse. They're treated very, very well. I love horses. I've been working with horses for 17 years, and I've always been from barn to my own horses, and I can definitely say this is probably the best place I've ever worked for.
And why do you two click so well?
That's a good question. I guess it's we're similar, but we're different enough that we actually complement each other. And so when you're doing something like what we're doing, somebody always has to be pushing on one level or another. And so because of the way we are, one of us is always sort of pushing and keeping things in focus, which is good. And we're both very competitive people, and so I think that helps too.
What excites you about quarter horse racing?
I like the break. I think they're very fast animals. Just the acceleration they have. It's more like drag racing, and as you can't get boxed in as much, and it's the fastest horse usually wins.
Don has trained many horses in his career, and he's got a hot one right now that really stands out.
For ability, absolutely. One Cool Wave, I mean, he's outstanding. He's a great horse.
Is there a horse age that you prefer to work with? Do you like the young 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds, maybe more? Or?
Always 2-year-olds. Always 2-year-olds. If I ask an owner to buy a horse, we're looking at yearlings, always 2-year-olds. I like taking them right from the very start. We round pen them, we get on them. I break all my own horses. Usually the first one on them. That way I get to know them. I like to see a horse develop and how they progress. And when they win, it's just exciting.
There have been many changes to Ontario quarter horse racing over the past few years. As far as Don is concerned, they are positive changes.
Track conditions, lots of money. I mean, we have, with the slot machines, we have great money to run for, which gives us an ability to have better people working for us, and it's just great.
Where do you see the industry in 5 years?
5 years from now. That's really tough because the industry's grown so much. I don't know where it would go in 5 years. More money? That's about it. You know, better track surface always. I mean, the track can never get any better. There's really not a lot that this track can do. Hopefully in 5 years from now, it'll be the premier racetrack in Canada or North America, which I do believe it's halfway there now.
And you can bet that Don Reed will still be one of the top trainers when they get there. For the full quarter, I'm Maddie Jo.
The Dodge Rodeo Tour made a stop indoors this week at the WFCU Center in Windsor. The roping events for the 10th stop in the Dodge Rodeo Tour were held during the afternoon. Mark Baldwin is a veteran roper, and one of his best horses is Jack. On the racetrack at Ajax Downs, he was known as Smokey 7.
He's just a nice horse to be around, and he just really likes to do what he does and makes money at it.
The majority of our horses are quarter horses, and we use quarter horses because they are so wonderful with the cattle. They work the cattle well, they enjoy working the cattle, they've got a great sense, and most importantly, they are fast and they can turn on a dime, so they can really keep the cattle in line, and they're a great working animal.
Prior to the rodeo here in Windsor, the full quarter was treated to an exclusive trick riding demonstration courtesy of Encore Performance. I'm with Allie Love, trick rider and coach. Allie, what were we seeing today?
Today you saw some of the America's Finest Quarter horses doing a little trick riding. It's basically acrobatics on horses. The horse runs a set pattern, and the girl has to either do a 1 foot stand, a hang off by 1 foot, anything, you know, jump off, jump back on. It's trick riding.
I saw you doing some coaching out there. What was your role in that?
As a coach, you know, I kind of have to make sure the girls stay safe. That's my biggest job, is to make sure everybody stays safe, gets their tricks right, and runs their horses right. Because not only with our team, not only are we focused on the tricks themselves, we focus on the horsemanship. And especially with the quarter horses, they're really pliable and they're so good to have.
Still to come, we'll see what Pete wants to get off his chest.
Flexibility.
Okay, it's time now for Peter's latest rant in this week's installment of Gross Misconduct.
You know, we sure live in a society where the government's trying to encourage us to bet on everything. Lotteries, casinos, pro line, 649. You know what I'm here for? To tell you 5 really good reasons why you should use your gambling money at the racetrack. The first reason, better odds. You know when you play 649 and you get 3 out of 6, you know you get paid $10. You get 4 to 1, even though you've defied odds of 56 to 1. If you defy odds of 56 to 1 at the racetrack, you'll get over $90 for a deuce. $90 or $10? What would you rather have? It's a redundant question. In lotteries and casinos, the house sets the odds, but at the racetrack, it's the people betting that set the prices. This is democracy at its finest. Yay! Number 3, in Lotto Max, you have to get all the numbers exactly. At the racetrack, you can make money if your horse comes second or third.
Mine didn't.
You know how in Pro Line you got to pick 3 games minimum? At the track, you can bet win, play, show, exactor, triactor, daily double. There's wagering flexibility at the racetracks. And number 5, when you think about it, what's more exciting, reading a number in the paper or watching a horse race?
Watching a horse race.
All right, that's it for this week's show. Coming up next week, we've got highlights of the All-Canadian Futurity, and we'll take a trip down memory lane here at Ajax Downs. For Peter Gross and all of us here at the Full Quarter, I'm Joe Tilley. Enjoy your day.
The Full Quarter is brought to you by the Ontario Quarter Horse Racing Industry Development Program.